Welcome to Tribal Ready Learning Circle. Chamai, hello. My name is Katrina Tysinger. My elder given name is Sakhaluk, and I'm Yupik Eskimo from the Bristol Bay region of Alaska. I am the tribal funding strategist with Learn, Design, Apply, and I'm so excited that you joined us today for this Tribal Ready Broadband Grant session. A little bit about Learn, Design, Apply. We are a grant consulting firm, and we have an entire broadband team dedicated to working with clients on broadband grants. We have secured millions of funding for tribes and understand the significance of Indian country and promoting digital equity. In partnership with Tribal Ready, these sessions are designed to utilize values as a foundation in cultivating tools and resources specific for tribes in the broadband grant writing process, all while maintaining cultural relevance and sensitivity from a tribal perspective. We understand that many tribes are seeking out external resources to aid in this process. These sessions are intended to provide some directed insight and considerations to look at as you build broadband infrastructure onto tribal land. We're going to discuss broadband funding and grant considerations related to the cultural value of community. Community is a pillar of identity for Indigenous peoples. It is coming together for ceremony, for mourning, for celebration, for gratitude, for harvest, for support, and for the betterment of the tribe. Community is at the heart of every Native population, and they should be involved. One of my favorite Native quotes says, "Tell me and I'll forget. Show me and I may not remember. Involve me and I'll understand." Let's dive in to see the connections as you work to expand broadband onto tribal land. Community support is fundamental in all grant applications. Getting buy-in from your tribal council and members is important. We discussed the importance of letters of support in our tradition session, but I want to emphasize that as a tribal government, tribes can leverage their political affiliations to request for support on broadband expansion projects. In some grant applications, community engagement should be discussed in narratives of the application, and efforts need to be made on how you plan to provide outreach and engagement efforts regarding digital access, affordability, and end-user options. Sometimes community broadband surveys need to be sent out to inquire on specific community needs impacted by high-speed broadband. Our first community grant tip: when sending out community surveys, make sure you add room for comments. These comments will help direct narrative to justify the need. Providing broadband to anchor institutions will make your grant application more competitive. Sometimes it's a requirement. An anchor institution is defined by NTIA as a school, library, medical or healthcare provider, college or other institution of higher education, or other community support organization or entity. If your proposed project is in a vulnerable population, other anchor institutions may be mentioned if they provide further support to the community, and broadband access will expand that effort. Ensure data is correctly portrayed for anchor institutions who are unserved or underserved. Trusted partnerships are essential in expanding infrastructure. Tribes should consider bringing in external resources to the table as they work to build capacity. Engineering consulting partners, such as Tribal Ready, provide network design, accurate data, strategic planning, and provide all the necessary technical components required for grant applications. Environmental consulting partners, as I discussed in our sustainability session, ensure your project will align with federal and state mandates for environmental permitting and surveys. Grant consulting can provide grant writing and project management, as well as strategic planning on upcoming funding opportunities. Digital literacy is the ability to use digital technology, communication tools, or networks to locate, evaluate, use, and create information. Digital navigation refers to providing information and resources to ensure people have access to connectivity, equipment, and digital literacy training. Funders want to see your plans on training users for tangible skills that further education or employment. Trusted messengers are community members that share similar background, language, and cultural knowledge who can effectively deliver information on broadband and usage. We recommend tribes using tribal members as trusted messengers. Another factor is privacy and security. Users need to understand how to safeguard themselves against online threats. Sometimes funders will want to see a cybersecurity plan in effect. Including local libraries, schools, and universities as anchor institutions helps to make your grant application more competitive, as these help to provide digital literacy tools to students. Digital access can help Indigenous peoples literally feel more connected to their language and heritage. As I discussed in our sustainability session, utilizing your culture can be your greatest asset on paper. Partnering with your tribal library or archive will add substance to your application as they work to provide language and cultural resources to your tribal community. Heritage preservation is clearly supported by broadband, and I'm so excited for you to hear from our subject matter experts as they define cultural knowledge and data, as well as explain how digital access preserves language and cultural resources. Let's listen in as we hear from Andrea Charlotte, Archivist and Heritage Collection Coordinator, on the importance of digital access to expand language and culture.
So internet really creates some fundamental infrastructure for communities and organizations to create digital archives and really promote access to various cultural materials. I work for an organization that over the past several years has really put a lot of energy and resources into digitizing historic materials and making those available online to tribal members. Without internet, accessibility to those materials would be really limited, and the more elders and more community members that are connected to internet and can communicate with us and be a part of the development process, the stronger the archive is.
Guyana, thank you for joining us today for this Tribal Ready Learning Circle session on broadband considerations related to community. Check out our other value-driven Tribal Ready sessions to learn more about tribal resources for expanding broadband infrastructure in Indian country.